What's happening, people? Scotty G here from Newcastle upon Tyne. How's everybody doing? Good evening to you. So, just some more prison stories as promised. Few of the fans on requesting some prison stories, so I thought I'd oblige for you and here's a few more. Right, where will I start? Why don't we start with that was a good one. Remember, I was on D wing in Durham. Would have been like between 2006 to 7. And me and my kid were making some hooch. That's prison alcohol. For those who don't know, and we had 5 liters of it, you know. And it was all ready. We had fermented it. It was all ready to go. Perfect. And we had it hanging, like as you come in the cell door. If you come in the cell door, to the right hand side, there was like hatches, and you could take them off, sure. And we had it in there, and it was like a duct, and we had it hanging in there, you know. And we had it hanging in there for ages. And you couldn't smell it or fuck all. And we got a spin, we got a cell search, got a spin, you know. And they come in, and obviously they found it. So we're fucked, we lost it. And we both got nicked. So, and I can't remember what we got for that. I think I might have got. I think they were quite hard on that. I'm sure we got a week CC, a week down the block for it. We didn't get extra days on out, like, but I'm sure we got obviously just a week in the block CC. CC is like obviously down in the segregation down the block, you know. So, and obviously we lost it, so that was a bit of a shit, I like. But there's another funny story about Hooch actually, but this was in Acklington this time, Northumberland. And I was on G Wing. That's where I spent all the 2 years I was in Acklington, apart from when I was on an induction wing on D Wing. You had the enhanced wing, which was E wing as well, but I never got enhanced for whatever reason. They just wouldn't enhance us. So anyway, we're on G wing, and there was an Asian lad across from me. I'm not going to say his real name. We'll call him Yazzie, right? Because I'm not going to put his real name on camera. Anyway, he was making some hooch, and he had it under his bed. And I think you know what's coming, don't you? We're all like chilling one day, and the daft cunt hadn't let it burp. Like obviously you've got to let it like air out. You know, you've got to let it burp. You know, otherwise it'll just go boom. So he's had it under his bed, and then all of a sudden, all you hear is fucking bang, and we're four, and you just heard him going, "Oh, fucking hell!" And there was just fucking juice, fucking hooch everywhere in the fucking pod. And obviously the screws heard it, come fucking running, and that was him fucking nicked down the fucking block. And for all the time he took making it, it was lost, you know. But that's what happens when you don't let it burp, you know. So that was a good one. But this was really the next one. This one was really bad. Like when I think about it, like there was this one screw, he was a right fucking bastard, he was a cunt, you know. Not all the screws were bad, some of them were half alright, you know what I mean? Some of you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? But this one, he was a right fucking bastard, Any little mortal thing he'd nick you for, and he'd try and catch you for fucking anything, So obviously he was fucking hated, do you know what I mean? So anyway, this kid, on the wing, he was ruthless, this kid. I'll not say his real name, but he was from Newcastle. And he was a ruthless little bastard, he was. And he was a good friend of mine, actually. He was a dangerous little cunt, proper dangerous little fucker. And we got a bucket. And obviously there was like fucking 100 and 200 fucking prisoners on the wing. And obviously they passed the bucket round and everyone pissed in it and shit in it. And it was a weekend. And the kid had it, and obviously been paid to fucking get the bucket full of the piss and shit of fucking nearly 200 prisoners. And it was fucking stubble. You can imagine what it was like, man. Oh. And obviously he was getting paid to fucking just swill the fucking screw with it. And honestly, people were like just that anxious, waiting for it to happen, But people were trying their best not to make it obvious, but it was obvious something was going to happen, because the tension on the wing was just unreal. You could feel the tension in the air, the build up to it. And I think I was watching one of the screws, and he knew something was off, but he just couldn't tell, And he was walking back and forwards, and then all of a sudden, boom! The kid just flew out, and it covered him from fucking head to toe, man. And honestly, the bell went off, all fucking hell broke loose, but he was just fucking drenched. It must have went up his nose, in his mouth, in his eyes, and everything, covered in piss and shit. I mean, it was fucking minging, man. I mean, it was funny as fuck, but could you imagine? Oh my God, I think the kid got a funny old kicking down the block for that, because of fucking, to do that with a screw. Obviously, when they got him doing the block, they would have kicked fuck out of him, for that, because that's a serious fucking thing, that, And he got paid, I think he got paid a fucking few number 8s to do it, a few subbies to do it, subby-techs. But that was one of the worst things I've seen, that, phew. But I did see one other thing. There was a fucking actually, I'll mention this. This is one, right? And I touched on obviously what really got me go was in Durham, right? Because nonces are mixed in Durham. There's no protection in Durham like there is Acklington, right? And there was this nonce on the ones, and he never ever used to come to his pad, obviously for obvious reasons, because if he come to his pad, he would have got fucking slashed up and fucking stabbed up straight away. But obviously, he used to get some sort of fucking meds. I don't know whether it was Valium or whatever from the fucking med hatch. And a couple of Sunderland kids were seen when we were standing in the fucking in the dinner, waiting to get what dinner. They were at his fucking door, and I was like, "What the fuck are you doing over there? Why you didn't talk to him?" They were like, "Oh, he gets these fucking meds, man. We're gonna," and they were fucking buying the meds off him. I didn't give a fuck what the fuck he's got. You do not fucking do deals with fucking nonsense, man. Do you know what I mean? So that really, really, I couldn't get my head around that, like, do you know what I mean? But it just shows you fucking, some people that even deal with nonsense to get drugs, you know? And that just really pissed me off, like, I couldn't believe it. But, aye. Was another thing as well, you know, right? War on the twos on D-Wing, and this new bloke come next door to her, moved in next door to her, and to look at him, he looked like, he looked like a proper nonce, you know, pants up to his fucking tits, big fat fucker, big jam jaw glasses. He looked like a proper bacon. Do you know what I'm saying? Like a proper nonce. Looked like a proper bacon, he did. And people went his pad and looked through his paperwork, and it had his crimes or things to do with computers. So obviously, you know, he looked to, you know, first time in, very nervous, and his paperwork said crimes to do with computers and whatnot, and he was going to get slashed up, he was going to get done, you know what I mean? But he didn't actually get slashed, and it was lucky he didn't actually, because he was actually in for sending threatening emails to his girlfriend or wife, you know. So a mistake could have been made there, and obviously the bloke was innocent, you know. He wasn't a nonce. So it just shows you can't, sometimes you can be wrong. So that was quite lucky, you know. But there was another. Do you know there was another time I was in Acklington, and there was quite a few Geordies on in Acklington, quite a few Mackhams, quite a few Sunderland lads, and quite a few Borough kids as well. And there was only 3 kids in from Darlington, just 3. And there was a little kid from Darlington. There was another kid, and then this other one said he was a gypsy bare knuckle fighter, right? And I actually know the gypsy site that he said he was from, you know. Johnny was called. Big 6'3" thing, but he was fucking weak as piss and went to the gym. Right? He was a big 6'3", had a mouth on him like that. You know, he could fight the world, he could. And anyway, his little mate had fucking got some backy offers. So obviously, he owed his 2 packets of backy back, because I gave him a packet of backy for 2 pack, you know, because that's the way it goes, you know, double bubble. You borrow 1 for 2 back. So it come to canteen day, and he was saying, listen, look, I haven't got it, you know, I'm short this week, you know what I mean? So I says, well, look, I says, next week, make sure you've got it, yeah, right? Because look, I cannot let this fucking slide, do you know what I'm saying? So I'll let it slide for 1 week, but next week, make sure you've got it. Next week comes, so I guns up to him, says, you got the backy, mate? No. Starts being like a bit of a fucking cheeky cunt, do you know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, yeah, look, Okay, you either pay the fucking backy, mate, or you're getting fucking knocked clean out. Simple as fucking that. So obviously, the fucking so-called gypsy fucking fighter has fucking heard one the dinner hall, and he's fucking come out and he's went, yeah, I'll fuck who you fucking talking to, mate? Who you talking to? Fucking picking on my fucking mate, man. He says, like, fucking you fucking Geordie fucking prick. I'll lift you off your feet, mate. I'll fucking lift you off your feet. I was like, what the fuck? I just turned around, bang, fucking nutted him straight in the fucking nose, and just bumf, knocked him clean on his fucking horse. Then the fucking bells went off, fucking screws have come, obviously banged all up and all that. And then, he made the biggest fucking mistake of his fucking life, man. He was shouting out the door, I'll fucking every fucking Geordie on the wing. He offered every single Geordie out. He says he'd punch every single Geordie all over on the wing. And I mean, there was fucking quite a few of it. Do you know what I mean? And the obviously he kept going and kept going. And obviously people were shouting out the doors, listen, mate, shut the fuck up, because you're gonna get seriously hurt when you come out of this pod, like. Do you know what I mean? And obviously the screws have got onto it, and he wasn't allowed. They had to keep him when on exercise. They had to keep him in. They had to keep him in the pod because he'd made them. He'd offered all the Geordies on. He was gonna get fucking. All the Geordies were just gonna fucking do him. But it was his own fault. I mean, however, man, fucking there was about 60 or 70 odd Geordies on the wing, and he fucking says, I'll fucking fight every single one of yous. He thought he was fucking He-Man, and the kid couldn't fucking fight sleep. I mean, I didn't profess to being the hardest kid in the world by any means, but come on, so he just he sell no favours there, like, so that to keep him in. And eventually, I think he just got shipped out. He got shipped out for his own protection because he was just gonna get done due to his fucking mouth, basically. Giving it that, saying he was gonna fucking do all the Geordies, which you just can't do that in jail. Do you know what I mean? You just can't do that. There was another kid. First time in, he's on the roids. Quite a big kid. I think he was in for doing drugs. He was doing 4 years or something. First time in, he was into selling coke and all that. Got 4 years. I think he's from South Shields. Drove like a canary yellow fucking M3, an old shaped one, that sort of character. Thought he was this, that, and the other. Thought he was this, that, and the other in Durham. And then when he landed in Acklington, he bumped into someone who he's had Rick with on the outside in the South Shields, and the kids put it on him. And he's jumped up, put his hands up, and he went, "Oh, well, then I'll fight you." And he went, "What the fuck are you doing?" He says, "There's no fighting up here, mate." He says, "I'll just fuck him." He says, "I'm just gonna slash you to fuck." He says, "I'm gonna stab you clean up. You fucking Raji, man." And the kid fucking ended up going on numbers. Big steroid head, Ended up going on numbers, which is obviously protection, which was G3, which is G3 was like numbers, which is protection, and they go on there like the death heads. They go on there until there's a place comes available on the non-swing for them, So on the VP side, vulnerable prisoner side, so they didn't go on there. But he had to go on there, he had to go on numbers, you know. Doesn't matter how big or hard you are, you can flex your biceps as much as you want. But I remember there was a big 6'4" kid from Hartlepool, meant to be hard as fuck, you know. Little kid on exercise, just come up straight up behind him, boom, 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 stabbed him straight up the arse 4 or 5 times, dropped him in a pool of fucking blood, you know. And I mean, people were just getting slashed for fucking half ounces of baccy and that, man. Every fucking day something like that would happen. Not easy, you know. Fucking, I remember there was this big mank in, big kid in from Manchester, big 19 stone kid he was, and he bullying people he was, and you know that little Geordie from the West End got paid 4 number 8s again. Flew into his, as soon as the door opened, flew in his pad, wasn't expecting it, obviously, you know, boom, 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 stabbed up, left in a pool of fucking blood. So, you know, it doesn't, you know, you can be the hardest kid in the world, but it makes no fucking difference up Acklington. Because you see, Durham's different because you kind of go in each other's pads in Durham. But in Acklington, you know, you could just be sitting there, screw will open the door, 4 or 5 kids will burst in, fucking bally it up and just fucking slash it to fuck. Table legs, whack, boom, dough in. And you kind of find a screw up Acklington. Well, you couldn't then anyway. I don't know what it's like now, but then it was ruthless. You know, there was kids in Durham when I was in, they were worried about going to Acklington, because if you've got Rick up Acklington, you're fucked. Because, you know, they were actually putting statements in not to go, you know. But they had to do that, they had to actually name someone who was in the jail and say, look, I'm in fear for my life if I go to Acklington, I can't, you know. So they're going to Haverick, which is in Cumbria, or Stafford or whatever, you know. But so fucking, but actually there was another good one. There was a lifer, black fella, Black Stevie they used to call him, and they used to call him the Black Elvis. He had a karaoke machine. I'm not joking, he had a karaoke machine in his part, right? And he was what a fucking singer this kid was. He was 37 then. So he'd be 52 now. So he was 37 then, and he had been in for, he'd been in 15 years. He'd been in since he was 22. Murder. And what he said was that he strangled his wife, but he said he didn't mean to do it. And I mean, how? You know, I mean, I haven't obviously strangled anyone, you know, but it's not a quick process, you know, and to actually strangle someone to death and watch the, you know, the life, you know, drain from them, you know, that's not a mistake. That's not a mistake at all, you know. So, but that's what he reckoned anyway. But he had been in since the early 90s, him. And what a singer he was, like, you know. What a fucking singer. He used to sing on his karaoke machine. That's why I used to call him the Black Elvis. But just before I got out, actually, they started like a football thing. And he was playing football, and he flew in for this tackle, Stevie, and he flew in and just snapped both his fucking legs. Oh, it was horrific. The bones were sticking out and everything, man. Oh, it was horrendous. and he was fucked. 2 fucking snapped legs. Oh, you would have been fucked for ages. It was a couple of weeks before I got out though, so I don't know what happened to him. Like, I don't know if he's still in or if he got out or whatever. But he had been in fucking 15 year then. So if he's still in now, he'll have done a 30 stretch by now, you know. So maybe he's got out now. I don't know. But I think he was telling obviously lies about that, like, because you don't strangle your wife to death by mistake, like, you know. I think that's a load of fucking bollocks, like, to be quite honest with you, like, you know. But anyway, I think we'll leave it there for now. But there is more to come. I hope you're enjoying crazy prison stories from Durham and Acklington jail.